to the outcome of this group. Uganda looking for their second win. They're up against Lithuania, who went 0 for 2 in their first 2 matches. And here are the starting lineups for Uganda. Okarac, the captain. Look to Philip Okarac, the only professional rugby player in this Ugandan outfit. He scored a hat-trick yesterday. And the number 9, Ofoworth, will pull the strings in midfield. Plenty of pace with Kasito and Kasiga as well for Lithuania. Big Rudzius, the number 1. He'll do a lot of ball carrying and try to get some go forward for them. Alongside me for this one, former England Sevens captain Rob Vickerman. So much to play out in this pool. It could be a 3-way tie at the end of it. Germany, Uruguay coming up after this. Who are you picking to go through?
Oh, put me right in the spot there, haven't you? I think Germany currently sitting atop Pool C are looking comfortable, but they've got a big contest coming up, as you mentioned, taking on Uruguay, who were sensational yesterday. But the focus is very much on this match. The job for these two teams is to get this done. And I've got to say, the Ugandans going really well in their first game against Uruguay, taking them down, but then losing to Germany very closely. This is going to be a tight affair. As you mentioned, the sheer size of the Lithuanians is going to be some problem, no doubt, for the referee, but also in Uganda's defensive line.
Yeah, just to give you the context of the pool, Germany currently lead it with their 2 wins. Uganda and Uruguay with a win each yesterday. So if Uganda beat Lithuania here, and if Uruguay can beat Germany in our next match, and that's a big if, then you would have 3 teams equal on points. It would come down to points difference as to what seeds they would take into the knockout rounds tonight. As things look, it is likely that there will be 3 teams from this pool going through to the Cup quarterfinals this evening.
I think it's justified as well, because the 3 teams have been cracking in the games that we've seen. It's a very hotly contested pool, and I would say pool of death, but it's a phrase you're not allowed to use anymore.
Lithuania, left to right in their green shirts. There's Rudzius at scrum half, biggest halfback you'll ever see in your life. He clears the ball away for the Lithuanians. They're coming off a couple of defeats, 52-5 against Uruguay yesterday, but they're looking to start well here. Really good carry deep into Ugandan territory. The Cranes, as Uganda are known, having to really step up their defensive game here. That's a good carry from Talžanskis for Lithuania. They've got some big boppers out there who can get some go forward. Obonas now. He tries to get for a gap. 5 meters out, and they've got the penalty. They go quickly, looking for their first score. They're going to get it. It is Tevidas Kresias who storms over for Lithuania. That's a surprise early.
Well, I mentioned about the sheer size of them beforehand, and it's really taking account in this game. One of their best players, you see him with ball in hand there, Obonas, not the biggest actually, but very powerful in how he runs into the defensive line. And then the probing, attacking play, over the line. Nothing Ofoworth can do to stop him flying over from that close. Kretschers is always going to get over, taps on the left foot, a little bit of footwork, gets the ball in the right place, over the line. And that's a good start for a Lithuanian team who did start very well game 1 and then were obliterated in their second effort.
Yeah, they come in with a points difference of -58 into this game. It gives you an idea of the scorelines they're up against in their first 2 games, but that is a cracking start. Well, that would put the proverbial cat amongst the pigeons if Lithuania could beat Uganda here. But a chance for the Ugandans. Ofoworth, blind pass over his own shoulder. Not sure who that was meant for. It's fallen into the hands of Talžanskis. And here come Lithuania again, looking to make Uganda pay for that carelessness with the ball in hand.
Advantage. Can I get the number?
Advantage Lithuania's way here, so something of a free hit. Talžanskis again, plenty of touches for him. Here's Bagusis. He's 5 meters out now.
Entry.
Manjani was looking for the turnover, but Lithuania are looking for a second try here. Has this been held up?
Well, that's almost deja vu. Exactly the same penalty, exactly the same place. The 2 same players contesting it this time. Aaron Ofoworth perhaps doing enough to stop the ball being put down. Kretschers over the line, but the ball needs to have that contact with the ground.
Well, they're pretty confident the way they're walking back, Lithuania.
Love that, love that. Just start celebrating. The tap, the carry, exactly the same, but tell you what, I think he's wrapped him up nicely there, Ofoworth.
Held up.
Yeah, you need some evidence
No try.
to reward it.
Scrum.
Excellent defensive play from a forward, and you've got to say Uganda need a lift here.
Yeah.
They do, threw the ball away, which didn't help them. And this is it, going for a bit of WWE small package. How about that? Wraps it,
Okay, let's go again.
stays on top, has a look where the ref is just to check. But this is no real reward. You go back to a scrum 5 metres out, still Lithuania ball, same the size of their pack and their backs. They will be no doubt over soon.
Set piece is firm for Lithuania. Good run here from Obonas. Penalty though to Uganda. Excellent work on the floor. They want to go quickly. They've got to come back and take it exactly on the mark.
Yeah, give the ref that one. Sometimes they're a little bit pedantic of where they get tapped from, but that was very much way in front of the breakdown. The old squeeze ball, don't see that nowadays. Ball going through the legs. The Ugandan arms wrapping that one up. Admirable defence, and it needed to be.
Just want to get out of dodge here, don't they, Uganda? Good kick too up towards the halfway.
Yeah. Must say, most noise online for Uganda. We saw a lot of noise in Coventry for the Commonwealth Games, but their support on social media, clear and obvious, and it's wonderful to see players like Aaron Foyworth. He'll spark interest from anyone.
Yeah, good character, active social media account. Here he goes, storming down the sideline. He might just do it all himself. He will. He'll throw it in field brazenly. Didn't need to. And his skipper, Michael Okarach. Well, Aaron Foyworth is back in the good books.
Isn't he just? The old 1-2 play on the sideline. See this a little bit in 15s actually, where the hooker throws the ball in and stays live. Don't see it enough in 7s. It's a really good, clever play, exploiting that 2-on-1 in the 5 metre channel. Talk about a Foyworth, massive personality. Not quite desire levels of going to DG after you score it, but that is still pretty impressive effort.
And that is the go-ahead conversion for Uganda. They lead at 7-5.
And there it is. Short side play, nicely done. On the near side. Well worked. Michael Okarach with his vast experience, staying in the slipstream and getting over for the score as well.
Yeah, led them brilliantly at the Commonwealth Games, didn't he? As you mentioned, they became the neutrals' favourite there. Even when they played England, a lot of people were supporting them, I think, in the Coventry Stadium. They had that 12-all draw with Australia in pool play. Philip Okarach just kicked the conversion. He had a penalty drop goal to win it in added time. Just slipped left. That would have been one of the most famous upsets of all time.
It would have been up there, wouldn't it? Fantastic effort. Perhaps even with Japan beating New Zealand in the Olympics. But these are teams that you want to be seeing compete at that higher level more regularly. Rugby Europe, Rugby Africa, 2 great competitions doing their own thing. 5 years of hard work for the Uganda team. They've got to make it count.
Yeah, Uganda will be heading to the 7th Rugby World Cup in Cape Town next month. And here they go again. Bit of momentum for them now. Bit of possession. Here's Kasiga. Okarach. Long pass from Masanganzira. It's loose and almost latched onto. That was dangerous, and this is going to end up as a yellow card. Well, that's unlucky. It was there for the taking.
Twice. First effort nearly gets it in, and Obonas goes for the second bite of the cherry.
See, that to me just looks like a fair attempt.
The one hand didn't help him there. I think it with 2 hands it'd be a different story. But 7s, and this is the outcome.
Chip through for Uganda. Lovely pickup by Casito. Gets up, goes again, but was held, says the referee. No, it'll knock on the floor, so a break for Lithuania.
Oh, I'd say this one was contestable as well. Not that the referee's going to change their opinion, but, you know, the arms are out, he's appealing. You get into the referee's ear, you might well get a favourable position down the road. Lovely identification of space, kicks it forward, little grubber kicking behind, no real sweeper with the man down. I see there's not huge control there, but he has released it. It's not like he intentionally knocked it on. Well, that's a bit tricky to call, but I've got to say, referee right on the spot there.
Yeah, David Vosalevo from Fiji in charge of this one. Breather for the players here. They'll be grateful for that. Frenetic last few minutes in this first half. Still just 7 points the difference. Remember the context of this pool. Uganda looking for their 2nd win. Uruguay up against Germany after this.
So the ball needs to be released. And because it's still rolling forward, looks like he knocked it on. So that's the tackle completed.
Okay. Yeah.
You can see why the pitch is done. necessarily show what happened there.
So in the act of placing the ball, it did roll forward a little, therefore knock on. Correct decision. Good call. Lithuania under pressure. They've got a decision. That'll help.
Oh, it certainly will. They will be taking their time on this one, still with 6 men. I'm honest, their key playmaker, so not having him on the field will be a real miss. It's frustrating because Singer just really understanding the context of losing the ball there. I feel that's a big opportunity for Uganda before this first half finishes to get another try. Prime position they were in.
Among the 3 contenders in this pool, Uganda have the inferior points difference. They were plus 11 coming in. Germany plus 14, who are currently on top of the pool. Uruguay plus 33. So if they can beat Germany next, they will be in the box seat to win this group, Uruguay. But Germany are tough enough to crack, as we've seen so far.
Well, they certainly are. The context as well, that the second place teams are also highly competitive. 3 teams over 30 points in second place, so points do really matter. Oh, and that's going to be another yellow card. Oh.
Well, their task just got a heck of a lot more difficult here. Double yellow in a half of 7s.
Well, we have got some spectrum in the game of 7s for yellow cards. Stumbling backwards, kicking the ball on his heel. Wouldn't necessarily argue that it was intentional, but now Lithuania down to 5 men.
Can you play with 4?
Yes.
I mean, legally, are you allowed to carry on if you've only got 4 players?
There is, on the terms of participation, if there's another, I'm honest now back on, but the game is forfeited if it gets to a certain number of players. But I think with it being a simping, it's different. If it's substitutes or injury, you do have to forfeit the game. Well, I've never seen that.
No. Anyway, they're back to 6 with the previous yellow card back out there. Powerful scrum coming in from Lithuania. That's their game, isn't it?
Come on, this is the second time. You need to be behind the scrum. One side.
Minute 30 almost in added seconds here. Foyworth is just going to scream through. It opened up for him. He salutes the skies, and that extends Uganda's lead right on halftime.
Well, managing to finally get the ball in the right place. I understand it's frustrating for people wanting to play quickly, but they are the laws. He spots that gap, ball in 2 hands, 45-degree angle. Great attacking play, and just backs himself to score it. Foyworth making a real impact in this game for Uganda.
Wakarach looking to make it 2 maximums for Uganda. Oh, he's faded that beautifully through the posts, and a Foyworth mistake or 2 early, but he's made up for it since. Yeah, so a couple of yellow cards hurting Lithuania down the stretch in that first half. Plenty to consider at halftime. Still in the balance this one. 14-5, Uganda lead Lithuania. Uganda with a lead over Lithuania here. This is the final round of pool games. Remember, there are 3 pools of 4. The top 2 out of each group automatically qualify for the quarterfinals, plus the next best 2 third-place finishers. So it is looking highly likely that from this pool, which also includes Uruguay and Germany, that 3 teams could well go through to the knockouts. And it might even work out, Rob Vicker, that one of these teams plays each other in the knockouts as well. They'll be very familiar with each other by the end of this one.
Yeah, that's the format. The 12-team structure often brings that about. You play the same team you have in your pool, and that can have its own strengths. I think the analysis is on it. This is one of those key moments where the yellow card was dished out for Obanas. But yeah, the context is, as it stands coming into this game, it would have been Germany versus Uganda as a quarter-final, but clearly a lot of rugby to have been played in this last final round of pool games. And yellow cards seem to be flavour of the day so far.
So almost ready to get underway for the second half here of this crucial match in Pool C in the men's competition. Uganda looking to book a place in the last 8. So far so good. Conceded an early try and hit back with a couple, both converted. They lead at 14-5. Lithuania though showed us in that first half they can put Some strong attacking game together. Big ball carriers. There's one of them, Bagutzes. They swing it back this way, using a bit of width as well. Saljanskas, he's held up in the tackle. What about the strip from Adrian Casito? Brilliantly done. Held him up with one hand, stripped it with the other, and Philip Wokarach with the chip ahead. It sits up for him. Oh, that's Wokarach's brilliance. We've come accustomed to seeing it. They start with the strip in contact, and then Wokarach goes to work with the creativity.
Oh, he's just scanning the backfield, sees the space there, puts it on the foot.
Okay, thanks, Rocky.
Lovely execution. He's a real footballer. When you want a bit of magic,
yeah.
cue Wokarach.
Top point scorer at the Commonwealth Games a couple of weeks ago. Philip Wokarach, 6 tries, 13 conversions. Let's take a look at this one from wide out. And he's nailed that one as well. But it hasn't quite gone the distance.
Well, bear in mind he gave away 2 tries in the in-goal area as well. He's a points machine. He wears 5. He likes that multiple, but it's his kicking game that I like as well. Got that awareness, mentioned his professionalism, playing in France. Spectacular player. He's someone that really does shine on this big stage consistently.
Yeah, I mentioned he's the only fully pro athlete in this Ugandan setup. Plays his rugby on the Côte d'Azur, Châteauneuf-du-Pape, a well-known wine region. Chip over the top, the kick pass into Lithuanian hands. Still plenty of time to go here. 19-5. Uganda lead it. Don't want to rack up as many points as possible. Heavy contact there. You can hear that tackle from Munyani. And they've turned it over well, have Uganda. There's the offload. And Afoyworth is in again.
He's just passed it though. Would have been his hat-trick. The humility of this Ugandan team to consistently give the ball to other players. And noticeably, I think Ian Munyani was loitering for that first try, and when Wokarach apologised almost for putting the ball down, there's definitely something on there. Try and find out what that's about. But either way, really is impressive stuff from Uganda, just getting on top of this Lithuanian team, turning that screw, penalty given, the quick tap taken, and there's that little bit of deception, ball in behind, over the line, but there's a present from Munyani.
Aaron Afoyworth has asserted his authority on this match. 26-5, 4 to go. Uganda looking good, looking for the restart. Tajanskas, penalty, a little high on the tackle on him.
Yeah.
I do feel as though Lithuania's energy sources have been slightly deprived from yesterday's efforts. They started so well. That first game they took on Germany, and for that first half were brilliant.
Yeah, 21-10 and finished. I mean, your tournament could be all so different if they managed to pull that off.
Yeah, time gone.
But yes, difficult second album, wasn't it, against Uruguay, 52-5?
Yeah, they really felt the effects of that first game of that one. I mentioned about how big they are. Seemingly, when you see the game of sevens, they aren't the biggest players for the sheer reason you're running about 1.5 kilometres per game. You got an average speed. Everyone here pretty much over 30 kilometres per hour, so fast as well. And weight doesn't always help that equation.
They are playing in their first ever World Rugby Sevens international event here in Lithuania. Against the Ugandan side that have appeared on the series Commonwealth Games. They were 7th in the Challenger Series in 2020, Uganda. They'll be looking to do better than that this weekend. They put it together, they could challenge anyone. Heavy contact going in there. There's Afoyworth and Munyani and Wokarach. Here they come again, Uganda, towing the ball ahead. That was Alex Aturinda on the chase. And now here's Afoyworth. There's that strip play. Again, Otima. They've clearly thought about that, the Ugandans.
Yeah, when teams try and carry the ball with that one arm and get it underneath the armpit, so to speak, it can mean it's conducive to be ripped. A bit of injury to the hand as well. You can see the carry just in the left arm. One defender getting the back of Afoyworth, and then the rip coming in for Otima. Good teamwork.
Mugged, I think is the expression. He's a little hurt too here is Anas Abonas. He's had a busy match, yellow card, bit of action with and without the ball. Yeah, he's going to head to the sideline.
That's a real shame. Fantastic player. A lot of intel from Jonas Mikalchis. He of Lithuanian fame. Wonderful player. Got his chance playing Rugby Europe and then came across to the UK to play.
And this is for green.
A little bit there. Hartbury College as well. And these are types of players you get to see. The physical, high skill level, abrasive, all the ingredients you need to succeed in rugby. Sevens is their chosen sport here, but do have an ability to play 15s as well.
So as things stand, Lithuania would go through to the 9th place semi-finals. Uganda can look forward to the big show tonight, the main event quarterfinals. Remember, one team from the 12 in the men's competition will be a core nation on the Sevens World Series next season. They'll be going to Hong Kong, Dubai, Cape Town, Hamilton, Sydney, Singapore, Hong Kong, London and Toulouse. It's quite a carrot being dangled in front of these teams. Lithuania looking to finish on a high here. Getting back well for Uganda was Timothy Kasiga.
Carry it back.
Carry back over, so it will be scrum still for Lithuania.
Carry it back.
Happy enough for them to have a scrum this close to the line. Good defensive play to get in behind.
Come guys, come.
It's difficult to overestimate the impact becoming a core nation can have on some of these so-called Tier 2 nations. All the funding you would get from World Rugby to go around the world and play and develop your rugby programs, whether it be 7s or 15s, it would give these nations a huge boost.
Massive, absolutely massive. And not only for them personally, you look at the profile it could grow for the sports in their respective countries, and it's a wonderful narrative, truly at the top table. And as this tournament progresses, that pressure becomes more and more real. Your mind does cast towards thinking about the what-ifs.
Crouch.
And it takes a hell of a psychological profile to deal with that at the big games.
By being in the top tier as well, it makes qualification for World Cups and Commonwealth Games, in this case for Uganda, Olympics as well. Just that little bit more straightforward. 30 seconds to go here, Lithuania. They've been striving for everything, stretching every sinew available. They're tired. It's their 3rd game in 2 days, and they're going to get a score, and don't they deserve it? Kestutis Kalbauskas with the finish for Lithuania.
He's been billed as their speed man, but a couple of tries he's got haven't been from that far out. Fleet of foot, moves direction, and problem with trying to target the ball to rip it means if you don't quite get it right, it's a missed tackle.
Let's go.
And a pirouette later, he finds himself over the line.
Conversion makes it as well, so it's Lithuania who have the last say here in pool play. They'll be playing for 9th place in this tournament, and they'll take some confidence from this finish.
Okay, time off.
Yeah, they should do. Spirited effort once more.
5 green.
More exposure at this level is only going to get them better at 7s. And better rugby in general. Lots of positives for both these teams, yet still we have
Yeah, he's off there.
a final act to be played.
Okay.
So the try was scored before seconds were out, so we will have a restart.
Yeah, backwards.
Playing on. Final play now. Lithuania. Oh, they might have another one here. Uganda just perhaps switching off, thinking this one was done. Game's still alive. Kalbauskas gets away from 2, tries to get away from a 3rd.
Away.
Penalty here, Lithuania. They worked the short side. Kalbauskas was due to start this game, but then there was a late change and he's come off the bench. Perhaps he was carrying a niggle. He's come on and made a real difference. Here's Taljanskas inside, and they will get another try, Lithuania. It's Vilimavicius for Lithuania, who will score their 3rd try a minute into added time. It's not going to be enough, but what a finish.
It was good, wasn't it? The man that started it with that straight line down the middle finds himself finishing it. And finally, the last play, a very respectable scoreline now looking at this. Converted would make it 26-19.
Well, that hurts Uganda's points difference as well. That's the other equation here in the final wash-up in terms of seedings in the quarterfinals. Lithuania perhaps done Uruguay and Germany something of a favour here in this group. in the final wash-up. It will all be decided in our next match between Germany and Uruguay, but Lithuania with the last say, but Uganda with the win here in Pool C, their second win of pool play. 26-19, it's finished.